The Supreme Court today stayed the operation of the Madras High Court ruling that effectively banned cow slaughter in Tamil Nadu. Among other observations, the High Court had ruled that cow slaughter is not an essential religious practice in Islam, while ordering a ban on cow or calf slaughter on the eve of Bakrid or any other day. Let me in fact go across to my colleague Sambhav Sharma for more information on this. Sambhav, this seems like a win for the Tamil Nadu government over here, which had filed this petition. Take us through the details of what the court is saying.
Well, here the Supreme Court has stayed the Madras High Court's order of banning the cow slaughter and a state ban, and later on this particular ban was challenged in the Supreme Court, and now the Supreme Court has stayed. In fact, the High Court's order is what the latest development in this case, and Vijay's government has moved the Supreme Court, saying that Madras High Court's order is contravening to certain laws of the state earlier passed by the state government, and in this regard, and hence that order should be stayed. And finally, after hearing the submissions, the Supreme Court has stayed the Madras High Court's order is what the latest in this case.
Right, Sambhav, and when we are also getting to know, in fact, that the C. Joseph Vijay government in Tamil Nadu, they had challenged this order that had come on May 27th, and remember, this was because Bakrid was falling on May 28th, and now the conditions have changed. However, the Supreme Court has now said that this stay that is there, it should in fact be lifted. Sambhav?
Well, yes, absolutely. See, here it is to be, yes, absolutely. Here the Supreme Court has stated the Madras High Court's order is what is the latest. It is to be also seen what exactly is the detailed order of the Supreme Court, when the detailed order will come out, probably in the evening. However, as of now, the Supreme Court has stated the Madras High Court's order, and also what the major submission made by the Tamil Nadu government in the Supreme Court is that it is contravening to certain laws, certain acts earlier passed by the state legislature, and hence that this should be stayed. And after hearing the submission, Supreme Court has stated the Madras High Court this particular order is what is the latest in this case.
Right, Sambhav. In fact, when they are mentioning about this case, Sambhav, they've mentioned a lot of rules and regulations or laws that were referred to, like the High Court's order apparently was based on the 1976 ruling that actually prohibited the slaughter of cows, and they wanted to protect the milk production and the rural economy in the state, and then hence they based this order and put a ban on the slaughter of cows and also on calf. But the state government had argued that the High Court has stated that if there has to be a slaughter that is supposed to take place, it should take place in slaughterhouses. So the state government in fact then said that this is a contradictory order that is coming to the fore. I'll come back to you, Sambhav. We are in fact joined by Advocate Adish Agarwala, who will help us understand this in fact case in detail. Thank you so much, sir, for taking out your time and for speaking to NewsX. A very good afternoon to you, sir. Mr. Adish, if I can get your observations on this Madras High Court's cow slaughter ban and then the Supreme Court's ruling that they want to stay this order.
You see, when somebody comes in appeal against any order, and once there are arguable points, then this is the normal practice that the appellate court stays the operation of the lower court. In this case, the order of the High Court has been challenged, and court found, let us hear the argument of both sides and let it be finally decided, so that for future also it will be useful for other states also. So Supreme Court has found reasonable grounds to hear the SLP, and that's why they have stayed it.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable perspective on this issue. I also thank my colleague Sambhav for all those updates. We now have some breaking news coming in from the national capital.